All right, so let's go through some housekeeping things real quick before we get started. Are we rolling tape on this, Kyle?
Yep, we are. And I went through a couple the housekeeping stuff I had, so you're good to go on whatever you need to.
Okay, cool. So you already went through the gray accounts.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Okay, last but not least, media buy training. Here's what I'm going to do to switch this up a little bit because a lot of people, the feedback is in the results of the media buy stuff, and we haven't gotten, a lot of people can't make those calls. I know you guys are focused on the Facebook training and things. So what we're going to do is all those calls from here on out I'm just going to load them in there, and I'll send you an email when it's in there. What that media buy training is all about is I'm showing you how to scale a campaign on another place besides Facebook. It's apparent to me now that a lot of you want to master Facebook before you move on to that. Totally cool. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to combine the Q&A call for the media buy stuff. So if you guys have media buy questions, ask them on the Facebook call and then follow along in the training when you get an email. The media buy training, though, will still go a week longer than the Facebook training. So there'll be an opportunity to ask more questions as those campaigns unfold and as you need to learn more about how we do that. But I kind of want you to focus on the Facebook stuff because it's easy to make money with what we're teaching you regardless, but it's easier right now on Facebook, and I want you to model these campaigns, especially the one we're going to show you today. So anything to add there, Kyle?
No, did you
No?
get
Okay, cool.
hey, you there? Sorry, I had my phone
Yeah.
on mute. Did was the last week's media buy training uploaded? I had a couple questions about
No,
that.
I think the video jammed up, so give me today, and it should be up there.
Okay.
That video, it's long, so it took me forever to render it, and then for some reason it didn't take in Kajabi when I loaded it before I left for vacation. So anyway, but it'll be up there. And then also tomorrow, the week 3 will be up there as well, or week 4, I should say. So you have week 3 and 4.
Cool.
So it'll be there. So, all right, cool. Let me go into this. ClickBank. A lot of you guys work on ClickBank. A lot of you have your products hosted on ClickBank. For those of you that don't know, we talked about ClickBooth a lot. ClickBooth is a cool CPA network. ClickBank is a network for info products, and there are a host of info products on ClickBank. So you're going to see all these info products on ClickBank, and a lot of our clients actually use ClickBank as their merchant account. So a lot of the people that we work with host their products on ClickBank, so you can promote some of the same products that we promote. The campaign that I'm going to show you today is a product that's actually hosted on ClickBank. But I'm going to take you step by step through some stuff that we've already told you about, and then how you can take these campaigns and just take a ClickBank product and start making some money immediately. So how this came about, give you a little background info. We took on a new client recently in the survival niche. So we're going to run some traffic for this particular client, and I started the testing phase last week. Now, I've showed you guys before kind of how I do the testing for different clients and how I get in there, but I really try to make things really simple, and I want to see how the offer converts. And I don't want to spend a lot of money when I'm doing that because I don't want to throw a lot of money away. So with that being said, because we run a lot of info product campaigns, I use this process when I start out, and it's very, very basic. So I want you to follow along with this. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to give you all the different steps, and I'm going to show you how I tweak it. But remember, as I've mentioned throughout the course, the first thing that we're trying to establish when promoting a new product is, does the product convert? I mean, is the product something that people want? It's the offer stupid. So is it something that people want? Will it convert? That's the most important thing. And until you know the answer to that, there's really nothing you can do to scale up your campaigns or make any money. So whenever you're testing a product, you're trying to find that out first. Do people want my product? So hold on 2 seconds. Okay. Cannot find my cursor because I've got a glare on my screen. This is how exciting it gets. We take non-techie to a new level, right?
Yeah. And just so you guys know, anybody can promote on ClickBank. And the way you track through ClickBank is we use individual links or individual tracking IDs um, for each different ad. So if you do know the vendor, if you start to do some volume, or if you notice a product that is going to convert fairly well, you can contact the vendor and send them their conversion pixel, and they will place it for you. But in the meantime, while you're just testing, we use just different tracking IDs. You can create as many different tracking IDs as you want, and when we get in there, we can show you where those appear. So, but there are still ways to track, and anybody can sell ClickBank. You don't need any special
Yeah,
certification.
and typically a couple of things to point out too. One, on ClickBank, you can sign up for a ClickBank account today. They don't really have an approval process or anything like that, like ClickBooth, so you can get going on that. Two, I think ClickBank, for your first check, Kyle, it takes what, 2 weeks, and then they'll pay you weekly, which will help your cash flow.
Well, kind of the first, you have to get two paper checks before you can switch your payment arrangements with them, and they only do those every 2 weeks. After you get that second paper check, like the day it's cut, like you don't have to cash it, but the day it's cut, um, you can then switch to weekly direct deposit, which is what we do, which helps out our cash flow. So um, that's how their payment system works.
Yeah, here's another thing to keep in mind with regards to ClickBank. Um, when you're promoting these, if you have your own product, this is not a ClickBank tutorial. It is a little bit about ClickBank, but if you have your own product, I want you to follow the same steps that I'm showing to guys that don't have their own product. So it's the same thing. 10,000 foot view is the same. So what I'm going to cover here is specifically how I started and tested this campaign. This is how I start and test all of my campaigns. I'm going to show you what I learned a little bit about this particular campaign, my thought process behind it, and then how I tweaked it. I adjusted the campaign a little bit. I'll take you through that, and then I'm going to show you how to apply these things to your own products. Or if you're an affiliate, I'm going to take you step by step on how to model this campaign with other products on ClickBank. So walk through that with me. So step one is go to ClickBank and find a product. If you have your own product, then just skip this step. So you want to go to ClickBank and find a product. And when you go to ClickBank and you're looking for a product, you want to find products that are already being promoted that have a high gravity. And gravity on ClickBank is basically how many sales per day that product has. If someone's selling it already, then that means that the offer's good. So keep in mind that the gravity on ClickBank is really important. So find a product with high gravity and use that. So make sure to do a search on ClickBank, and you want to go by gravity. And you can do that search, and it'll take you from high gravity to low. So what ends up happening, a lot of the products on ClickBank, people are buying media, but they're buying media like we are doing for media buys. So they're out there to different publishers, to different ad networks, to Google, to Bing. A lot of people are not on Facebook with those products. I know a lot of top ClickBank product owners that have no Facebook exposure whatsoever. So there's really an opportunity for you to kind of break some of these info products wide open because they're not being seen on Facebook. So keep that in mind. So step one, go to ClickBank, find your product. Step two, what I do here is I'm going to go to What Runs Where AdBeat and take a look at some of the ads that are being ran for this. Now, I'm going to show you what I didn't do here to start out with and take you through these steps. But you want to go to What Runs Where AdBeat, take a look at the other ads. And then I model the top banners. I mean, this is basically a cut and paste campaign all the way through. You don't have to do any copywriting. You don't have to do anything here. Model the top banners, use them in your ads. I'm going to show you how that happens and what happens if you don't do that. And, keep in mind that it's really this easy. You can just cut and paste these campaigns and do this. So what we're going to do, the technique that we're going to use here is the dark post technique. So what week was that where we showed the dark post, Kyle?
I think that was week 2.
Week 2. Okay, so week 2, we showed the dark post. So go back to week 2. I'm not going to go through that again. I'm not going to be redundant with regards to how to do a dark post. I mean, you guys know how to do that. But what I will say is that's the technique you're going to use for this particular ad, and you're going to use a clickable image. And when you use a clickable image, then you get a much higher click-through rate, which we've already showed you. So these type of campaigns, where the splash post campaign is going to work really well for an email opt-in campaign or a trial offer campaign because you need some sort of lander on it. This campaign, the clickable image is going to work really, really well for a sales video campaign. And the reason, you can use splash posts for that and you'll be okay, but I like to use the clickable image here because it just works really well because you already have a landing page. So the only thing I want to tell you is make the clickable image connect with the sales page. That's when they click on that image, you want them to go to the lander, which is the VSL, video sales letter, for those of you that do not know what that is. Anything to add there, Kyle?
No. No, I've got another trick that we're just playing around with, but I'll let you know how that works out. But no, you're correct so far. Carry on.
Okay, awesome. So so basically then, what you're going to do next is you're going to, so I'm going to show you here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to log in to AdBeat and show you how I do this. So, and this is what's really important with this campaign. So bear with me here. I'm going to log into AdBeat and show you where I find this stuff. If you have your own product, this is important, so pay attention to this. So you're going to roll into AdBeat here. And okay, so for whatever reason, I think it has me logged in. We're a little slow, but the moral of this story is that for a lot of these products, especially on ClickBank, ClickFood, some of this stuff, for a lot of these products, there's already been a lot of ads created. People have spent money on copywriters. People have spent money to get some of these banners. They've made the banners. They've done a lot of this stuff, and you can find out all of that information on AdBeat. So let me show you what you do. So just hit advertiser, and I'm going to put in a survival product. And so this stuff comes up, right? So you're going to have all this survival stuff that comes up. Okay, so I'm going to go to Family Survival Course. And this is a survival product. And it brings up all this stuff. And all I do here is I go to top ads. It's going to show you the top ads right here. Okay, so now bam, you're starting to see this stuff. FEMA banned this video. And it'll show you how long the ad's been running. We went through this in the media buy course. But here's the important thing. The important thing to understand is that you have all this right at your fingertips. All of your ads are already written. See, they banned this video. FEMA banned this video. There's your headline right there. And then you can use any one of these images in your own campaign. Caught red-handed. Caught red-handed seems to be another good headline. So all I do now is I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to save image as. And so now I have the image, and now I have the exact headline that they would use. So done deal. So I don't have to do any of that. And that's what I wanted to show you. So if you have your own product, that's cool. You can still do that. So go to your competitor. If you have a fitness product, it's like, you know, Flat Belly Blueprint is one of our fitness products. If you go to Truth About Abs, you can find out some of the hooks and the headlines that they're using, some of their best images, and just use that, model that for your campaign. Not 100%, you know, you don't want to 100% model it, but I did in this particular campaign, and it worked really well. So I basically, how I make this work is I take the copy from the banner, and that's what I use on the dark post. So I take that copy, and that's exactly what I use on the dark post as my copy. And basically, it allows me to take the banner from the top campaign, and bam, that's my Facebook ad. So I'm just basically taking that and I'm plugging it right in, and I'll show you the examples that I used on my Facebook campaign. So let me show you what I did to start out with here, and why you do as I say and not as I do. Because my first campaign, I didn't do that. I just came up, I watched the sales letter, and I came up with my own headline and my own hook. And I'll find that campaign for you. You have anything to add here, Kyle?
No, and you guys are actually going to see that that's exactly what he did. What those steps he just walked you through, grabbing an image and the copy and plug it right into your dark post, and started making money, crazy amount of money, as far as ROI is concerned.
Yeah, so here's the, I believe the image test is not, that's the new campaign. I want to show you the old campaign first, and I believe it was, got all these different things on here, but
I think it was called like John Survival or something.
yeah, John Survival Bet. Here it is. So, ironically, my computer is running out of juice. So, okay. So, see if I can show that ad. How do I show this ad, Kyle?
Go down to where it says back 40 to 45.
Yep.
Click on that. That'll kind of expand it, but it's not going to show you the actual copy. If you want to show the copy, you got to get into Power Editor.
Okay. So basically, I started this ad right here, and the headline was "Are you ready?" And it had, it basically had, you know, you can see the comments and stuff. Basically, what I did is I showed a graph with an image going down, and the copy was, you know, how to prepare you and your family for the coming U.S. Economic collapse. That was basically the copy there. And the other one is posted. I actually published that post. But let me show you the statistics here. All right, so you can see all this. I spent $251. I made $126, so I had about a 50% ROI. I lost some money. I had 3 conversions to this campaign, and I had a 0.440 click-through rate. Now, Kyle and I ran this ad, and Kyle said, oh, because you had 671 clicks and 3 conversions. And Kyle said, that campaign sucks, right? Remember you said that?
Yeah.
You said the product sucks. It's not converting. And I said, because what I know is I look at my other info products, and they convert about here. So if you convert like 3 and 600 clicks, you're actually doing pretty well. My problem was my click-through rate was so low. You can see down here the average cost per click was 52 cents here. So that's just too high. You can't pay that much on Facebook because, as I've mentioned before, things just don't convert as well on Facebook as they do every place else. So what I was thinking is, okay, that could be. So when you have a situation where you lose money, what you're trying to look at now is, okay, does the product convert? Because we were going directly to Glenn Beck, who is ground zero for the survival market. So we're aware that Glenn Beck is ground zero, which I told you that's where you got to start, is a ground zero to make sure that, you know, it's going to convert. Because if it doesn't convert to your ground zero people, it's not going to convert anywhere. So ground zero, check. Did we get some sales? Check. Did we make money? No, we didn't. What was our click-through rate? Well, it was 0.440, which is not good. So my click is 52 cents. Now let me show you the post that I put up next on the page so that you can see this. And this, you'll see this ad was much better. All right. So Patriots for Freedom, that's us. what I'm all about. And here we go. This is our Patriots for Freedom page, and here's my post. Now, what I did is I just took an image from.
That is not John, by the way.
No. Okay, so I took an image. This was the banner image. I just cropped it. I put a little border around it. The play button was already there, which, Facebook doesn't like, but what the hell. Shocking survival trick. Ex-military patriot reveals his best-kept secret that will let you keep your family safe from any type of danger. So you can see that ad right there. You can see this whole deal. I literally copied that right out of AdBeat. It was the #1 banner for this survival product from an affiliate. And so now, let me show you what that looks like with regards to results. And this is what a big difference these little tweaks can make and these images can make. So that's why you want to get at least a 1.0 click-through rate. If you have a 1.0 click-through rate, you can kind of determine, okay, well, it could be the offer at that point. But you can never determine, is it the offer if your click-through rate is 0.44.
Wait, you don't want to be in Power Editor, I don't think.
Yeah, I do, because I want to show them the results of the ad.
Okay.
So, oh, no, you're right. I don't.
Someday, guys, John's going to listen to me.
One day. I love you, though. You know that. There's a lot of love here. People that love Truck Stop are like, man, I feel a lot of love coming out of that car. Okay, so now this is the exact same ad. Check this out. So here, I spent $307. My total click-through rate is 6.341% for that ad I just showed you, and I have made $840. So that's over the last, 2 days or whatever. Notice that the conversions are kind of along the same line. This thing is not out converting. It's really not out converting the last ad you saw. But what's happening is go down here. I'm paying 8 cents per click. That's the difference. And the reason I'm paying 8 cents per click is because my click-through rate is so high. And so on Facebook, like we told you the first few weeks, that makes all the difference. The higher the click-through rate, the lower your clicks. It's hard to jam something up when you're paying 8 cents a click. I mean, it's hard to not make money with that. So that's basically the difference. And so now what I want to show you, again, follow these steps. Don't do what I did and just start randomly. Every now and then I get this thing, because we all have an ego, and I have a tremendous ego. And so I think I'm a copywriter. Like, I think, man, I can write good copy. And I'll start writing my own headlines and things like that, and they suck. I'm not a good copywriter, and every now and then I have to convince myself of that fact by losing money. So with you guys, just follow those steps. Go right to AdBeat and model an ad, and that's what I did. So don't do what I did. So I showed you that. I showed you the numbers. Now here's what else I'm going to show you. So it's very important how when you hit this ground zero category that you understand that you want to hit that first, and I'm beating this like a dead horse because I want you to understand that you really can't gauge anything if your category's not right. Remember, message, market, match. That's what you have to have. So I now have a market match, and you saw that I made $500 there initially. So now here's what I'm going to do. Okay, yeah, so I skipped all this, but you see I changed the image of the second campaign. I changed the copy. The results, obviously much different. Went from 50% ROI to, what was that, Kyle, 250% ROI?
Well, yeah.
So same category, same everything. Now, at this point, obviously, here's what we know. What do we know, Kyle? The product does convert, right?
Yeah. We
We
know
need
your
click.
computer's out of battery.
Yeah, my computer's out of battery. Um, we know that the product converts. We know that if we continue to get a cost per click at 7-8 cents, that we're going to make 200 and some percent a day, right?
Hmm.
Right, Kyle?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so now here's what you do. Kyle and I have sort of started to do these micro campaigns. So we're going to continue at this point adding categories. Hang on just a second, guys. Hang on just a second.
You gonna run inside and plug in?
I'm going to go to the McDonald's and plug in. Hang on just a second. I'm
uh,
having my chauffeur take me to the McDonald's.
it's so awesome.
So,
John's in the middle of the desert, trying to walk around the gas station with a computer in his hand, trying to keep on the internet.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. So, I'll tell you what, you miss a week, you miss a lot with us guys. I mean, we're just, every one of these webinars is an adventure. It's just an absolute adventure. I love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue adding categories. Now that I know this campaign works, you never scale anything up in any way, shape, or form until you start making money. So that's when you start to scale up, is when you start making money. That's what you need to do. So with that being said, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to scale the campaign. And I'm going to show you what some of these other categories have done. All right. So you still, everybody's with me here on the screen, correct?
Yep.
All right. Cool. So now, let's go back and show you. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Coulter. If you guys are in a conservative market, you've probably heard of Ann Coulter. She's a little crazy. She's conservative, not judging her. Doesn't make any difference to me. That's a category I want to target, though. And I want to target that category because it is a similar category to Glenn Beck. Now, you can see what happens here on Coulter. I make 116, or I spend 116. I've got a pretty good click-through rate. I'm going to hop in to the place. I make 210 bucks. So we know now where we're at, and we can see my average price. On these clickable image campaigns, the more traffic you drive there, the longer you let the ad run, the more the cost per click goes down. And so, Kyle, can you expand on that a little bit while I go plug in my computer?
Yeah, guys, and here's why that
Because
happens.
that's important.
Right. And one of the key things you need to understand is that click-through rate, again, we've talked about it the whole time. The click-through rate is what drives that cost per click. And even though your conversions aren't off the chart here, um, you make up for it, more than make up for it. I think John was paying like 8 or 9 cents a click on some of those campaigns. And when you're only paying 8 or 9 cents, you can get a lot of clicks and you don't have to get that many conversions to still make, 100%, 200%, 300% ROI right off the bat. So, um, part of the reason this works, and I explained it last time or a couple times ago, but again, if you have smaller campaigns, Facebook thinks that they have all day to fit that amount of clicks into your budget without going over your budget, but they want to spend your budget over the course of 24 hours. So if you've got a bunch of micro campaigns and you're only spending $100 per campaign, Facebook doesn't think you have to get that many clicks. What they trick you, or how we trick them, is we just make one campaign for a bunch of different interests. So we have, 10, 15. John was running 10 or 15 at one point, with $100 a day or $75 a day, and paying, you know, 7 cents a click, 8 cents a click, 9 cents a click for targets that we are interested in targeting, and still spending, $500 a day, $600 a day, $700 a day testing this campaign out. But when you do it this way, your clicks remain considerably lower instead of spending $500 in one campaign where we might have been paying 27 or 37 cents a click. So the difference is, 3, 4, 5 times in some cases, which is the difference between, like he showed you in the first slide or the first ad, losing 50% versus making money right off the bat. Um, and so when we focus on this strategy, your click through rate becomes just like it does on all things, incredibly huge. So when you leave that ad up and while you let that traffic run to that campaign, you continue to get those clicks and those shares and those comments. So when somebody sees a ad come across their news feed that's got 10,000 likes or 2,000 likes and 4,000 comments and 2,000 shares, people are like, holy cow, what is this? And they click on it. So now they're watching your sales video. But what it also does is those clicks continue to increase your click through rate. So over time, that click through rate continues to climb. Um, and I mean, obviously, once you reach a point of saturation, then it'll start to go the other way. But until then, that will continue to climb in your target demographic, and continue to drop those prices, which as you go continues to increase your ROI. And again, that's what we're all looking for. His ads did get disapproved because they had the play button. Um, but they let them run for 3 or 4 days or something like that, 5 days. So
Well, and I'm back here, and I understand it's extremely loud. Can you guys actually hear me?
yeah, it's not even that loud to
Oh,
me.
okay, cool. Because the McDonald's is jumping over here, man. The
Well,
McDonald's is jumping. You can see I got a free connection here I'm excited about. So I'm going to show you guys this stuff here. Here's a couple of things I want to point out. That, A, this doesn't take a ton of testing. And as you see with my ads, I didn't even break it up into age groups, okay? I didn't do that. All I was trying to do, and the reason I didn't even edit out the play button was because all I wanted to do was test the offer and make sure that the offer converted, and then I figured I would adjust the campaign from there. It's very important to take action on this stuff and not get into analysis paralysis mode, and that's something that we don't do. But now look at this ad here. So this is Sarah Palin, same ad. I spent $154. I made $546. So you're talking about, again, another 200% ROI. So I think you guys are
that's
seeing that.
that's closer to 300, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Can you,
pretty good
hey,
for
while we're
sure.
on the, while I got you, can you send some more traffic to that ad campaign, please?
Yeah, I'm going to. So today when I get back from vacation, right?
Yeah.
So guys got to live too. I got to live here. Um, so what you guys want to do is, now that you know the campaign works and we've proven it's worked because it worked to ground zero. Now we've gone out. Ann Coulter got almost 100% ROI. Then we go to to Sarah Palin, another category in the survival niche. And now we know we can go out to these conservative categories and we're going to be able to make money. And so what you're going to do on these micro campaigns, I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to continue to add categories. You're going to set your budget between $50 and $100 per day. That's going to depend on you. I mean, you can even set your budget at $25 if you want to. It's completely, I don't want to go all Satori Prime, but, you can set your budget pretty low if you want to. That's an inside joke, by the way. So we will basically set our budget at 100 a day. You can go a little bit more than that if you want, but 100 a day is going to ensure that you explode this ROI. And as you continue to run these ads, I don't even shut these ads down. I just let them run, because as I let it run, the clicks are going to go down. When I started on that Glenn Beck category with that image, I think I was paying 17 cents. It went down to 6 cents. But the conversions don't change. So after about a day or so, that's when the ROI really starts to explode. So if you keep your interest targeted and don't go too broad, then you're going to have this high ROI like you're seeing on these campaigns that I'm doing. And you're going to have low click costs because of your high click-through rate that you see. And so the way you scale these campaigns, these micro campaigns, instead of running with really high budgets, the way you scale these is to hit these micro campaigns, get, let's say, 10 categories going that all get you, a nice ROI, anywhere from 50 or 150, depending on how you calculate your ROI, I'm always looking at it as 50% ROI is 50% profit to me. So when I say 50%, that's what I mean. But you can get 10 of these categories going, and now you're making your 1,000 a day on this campaign, your 500 a day, your 600 a day, depending on your budget. And then you can run multiple campaigns like this to scale. So instead of running just one product and trying to make 5,000 a day on it, now you can run 3 or 4 different products and make your 700 a day on these products. And so the key is to keep those budgets low and to keep that click-through rate high. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're making 700 a day, like on this survival product. You want to make 2,100 a day. You're going to run 3 different campaigns. So you're going to take 3 different products from ClickBank and do that. And this is an evergreen campaign. So if you do this just like I'm showing you how to do it, you're going to make this money. Like, you're going to see really quick that it's very possible to do. So, Kyle, bouncing back over to you, man, that's what I've got on my slides, and that's sort of that's the micro campaign that we're running, and I would use this with ClickBooth because of the video sales letter. You just hook it up to a clickable image, bam, you've already got your lander. It's going to convert. What you want to look for is 5 to 6 conversions for every 1,000 clicks. If you can get 6 conversions for 1,000 clicks, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, and to add to what he just said, he's saying go grab 3 other products, and that's after you burn through. I mean, he just showed you on those campaigns he made, what was it, 450, close to $800 just off those 3 interests. So if you also want to get to 2,100 per day, run 3, 6 more categories that are similar to that. So there's lots of ways for you guys to go make money. But again, this is a campaign straight off of ClickBooth or ClickBank that you guys can copy. Again, go copy it, go to AdBeat, and start running these ads. If you have your own product, the strategy and the steps are still the same. Go there, model a campaign, model some copy, model some images, find some ones that work, and then just go for it. But the trick is going to be getting your clicks cheap enough to where it makes sense to continue. And the way to do that is what John laid out for you here, and a bunch of different micro campaigns with smaller budgets, with great images and some good copy that has worked, because you can grab stuff that you've seen work or that AdBeat says has been running for 200 days. And if an ad's been running for 200 days, it's probably doing okay, because nobody's going to run an ad for 200 days unless it's making money. So
exactly. And one thing I want to point out too is that on these campaigns, Kyle's exactly right. As I told many of you guys on the phone when you signed up for the course, our goal is to hit 100% ROI per day on each campaign that we run. So our goal is to basically double our money. That's what 100% ROI means to me. If I spend $1, I get $2 back. So what you guys want to do, if you do these campaigns right, you can hit 10 interests, and you might have one interest that's getting a 50% ROI, meaning you're spending $1 and you're getting $1.50 back, and then you might have an interest like the Palin interest, which is a 200 to 300 to whatever ROI, and you can mix and match those. And the minute that a couple of these categories don't meet your ROI goals, you just throw them out. And you can scale that way, but you want to keep your interest really tight with these campaigns, and you can keep that ROI up. And that's one of the reasons that Casey and those guys have been able to explode their ROI as well when they run these, what Kyle and I refer to as micro campaigns. And that's something that you can do. And then how I like to scale is just to go to another product and plug it in versus getting greedy, because as your cost per, or as your amount of clicks go up, as Kyle's pointed out, your cost per click goes up, and then that just erodes your ROI. And so your goal as an affiliate person is to make that ROI whatever you want. If you have your own product, then you can expand these budgets, because what you want to do is get sales and add people to your list. So, but if you have your own product, you can use these exact same principles. Just piggyback off your competitors' best ads.
Yep, and that's what those tools are there for, and that's why they're so powerful. You saw John didn't have to come up with. You saw what he did when he tried to put an image and some copy up. So you can just go steal what's been working for people that maybe had some professional copywriters. Part of the problem is we don't have time to sit and watch every sales video and go through and write proper copy and stuff. So we think we're good at it, but sometimes we miss, and it's nice to have AdBeat there so we can just go and grab what they have there.
Yeah.
But again, the thing we want to stress is we know some of you guys are starting to make some money now, which is good, but we want everybody out there to be making money. So take some of these, please, and start making some money.
One, I think the whole reason I wanted to show this campaign today and talk about this campaign was it was a couple reasons. One, to show you guys, you know, it's sometimes, we talk about how much money our clients spend in advertising, and that can be a little intimidating. So to show you that you don't have to have a very big budget to make a lot of money doing this, and to show you a lot of guys, we don't consider ourselves gurus, but I know that you guys are sitting there at home saying, well, John and Kyle, they wear these Facebook capes or whatever. No, we're just like you. And we ran this ad just like you would run an ad, and we lost money. And then when we just went and copied what somebody else was doing that was already working, we made money. It's just like that. So all you have to do is follow this path that we're showing you. It's not like, we're over here in the Facebook cave and everything we come up with is brilliant, because it's not. It's just really following the leader, and these guys are already doing it.
Yeah, and he showed you a campaign where we lost money, but how we figured out that there were sales, and when I say we, I mean him, when there were sales and conversions, um, that there's still a way to salvage it and turn it into a huge winner, as you saw with like the Sarah Palin and the Ann Coulter and the new Glenn Beck version. So um, it, regardless of what happens, right off the bat, even if we're losing money, one, I wanted you guys to see that we do lose money on an ad. So it's not, we don't just put an ad up and start making a gajillion percent. There are a few steps that we have to take to get there, but it's also literally just as easy as grabbing a copy and image that work and going out there and finding a survival product off ClickBank and plugging it in and making some money. That that those are literally the steps we took. So it's not like John said we've got some superpowers over here that you guys don't have access to. We're showing you exactly what we do and how we do it and how it plays out. The tricks are, and what we want you guys to really get out of this course is the knowledge and understanding of why something works. So when when we're done with the course, you guys can continue to run products off of ClickBank or ClickBooth, and you understand that you need to have a super high click-through rate, and these are some tricks to do it. Dark posts and newsfeed only, and this and that, and all these other tricks we've taught you along the way, and those are going to be your vehicle to get those cheap clicks, which makes pretty much any product out there sellable for you and able to make money.
Yeah, and a couple of things to point out here. One, I'm going to show. I've been on vacation the last few days, just took a little break this weekend, but I'm going to show this week, and I'll put it in a video. I'm going to plug in other ClickBank campaigns here and show you that this is going to work for anything, so long as your targeting is right. So I'm going to show you how to make money on basically any ClickBank product. Two, I was going to just make a video. We talked about this on the Q&A call Thursday. I was just going to make a video about this, but then I wanted to make it a whole training so I could show you step by step exactly what I was doing, because it works. And I don't typically answer questions on these calls, even though we do them live. But Eric pointed out something about the play button, and I am going to address that again because I'm not sure if you guys heard me. I literally was just testing this. That's all I was doing. I was testing. And sometimes when I test, I just want to get something up there so that I can see the results. I am an action taker. So even if that action is flawed, and I knew that that ad would get cracked eventually, but I didn't care. I wanted to get those stats up there because I knew if I had a high click-through rate and clicks and then that product didn't convert, that it was going to be the offer. And I could go back to the product owner and say, hey, it's your offer and we can't help you because we're not going to be able to generate the kind of revenue that Kyle and I need to generate from a client. And so there's a method to the madness behind that play button for me, and that was so that I could accelerate my click-through rate, and therefore accelerate my results, figure out whether it was the offer or not. And it turns out that the offer is fine. So does that make sense, Kyle? You have anything to add to that?
No, just one other thing. If you continually, I mean, you could put a new image up with a play button and it would get approved and you could run it for 3 or 4 days. But if you start doing the same, having the same issue with Facebook, eventually they'll get mad and just turn your account off. So once we get a warning one for doing one thing, we normally try and avoid it for that account for a while anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and there was another comment. No, I don't do a different dark post for every category. The way I'm able to track it is with a conversion pixel. So if you look at those screenshots that I showed you, if you go back through this video, you'll see we had a conversion pixel on there. I drive all the traffic to the same post. So, and that's typically how we do it.
Well, but we do have access to that vendor, which is different than what they would have.
What's that?
We have access to that vendor who can place that pixel. If they're just doing testing, if I'm just doing testing and I don't know the vendor, I will just run, it would only been three or four different dark posts for that testing purpose, and that's how I would do it. But if you find out it starts to work, just contact the vendor and they'll place a pixel for you.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. So hopefully you guys got something out of this campaign. You can do this, like I say, you can do this in any interest, in any category. Basically make what you want to make, just back into the numbers and kind of go from there. And that's all I've got for today's call. Kyle, do you have anything else?
No. I think that's it.
Yeah, if you guys need some more in-depth stuff, get on the forum, ask your questions. I'll answer them there a couple hours from home here, but I'll be back. I'll be on that forum tonight. And then, like I said, I'm going to run some more of these campaigns to continue to show you that it's not necessarily the product, it's the process. And, we'll get more of these campaigns going. And just go to ClickBank, find some products with high gravity, and then target accordingly. Because that just means that those products are converting, and that's what you want. You also want to look at your average sale. So, that's something I'm going to add before I leave. One of the challenges with survival products, I don't really recommend the survival market for you guys. I know that market, and so it works really well for us. But the average sale on this particular product was right around what, Kyle, $38?
It might have even been like 33 or something. 35 maybe.
Where you're dealing with something like that, in the relationship market, our average sale is typically right around $70, so it's twice as much. But you're spending the same amount for traffic. So, you have to understand, he who can spend the most wins. So if it costs you $30 or $40 to get a client, but you're only making $37, $33, $34, whatever, you lose. But if it costs you $40 to get a client based on this stuff and you're making $70, you win. So you want to keep that in mind when you choose to market. If you're an affiliate, unless you're really dialed into a specific niche, I would ask you guys to stay in the big three. Stay in fitness, stay in relationships, stay in the make money market, and you're going to do a lot better than if you veer on into these niches, because it can be more treacherous. But with that being said, man, that's all I've got.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So, guys, I appreciate you hanging with me on the call. I know it was a little more unconventional today because I'm on the road. And hopefully, though, you picked up something that can make you some money, so that won't be a real issue. Let's get on the forum, ask the questions, and let's blow out a good Q&A call Thursday. Keep in mind the Media Buy stuff will get up, and it won't be live anymore. But keep asking questions about that, and I'll help you. And that's it, man. That's all I got. Kyle, anything else from you?
That's it, guys. Keep posting your success stories or sending us emails. Those are awesome. If you guys find a campaign that's working for ClickBank, I mean, you guys don't have to show us your individual ads, but just, hey, I'm running this campaign or this product. It's doing awesome or something. Just it'll help us out to get to the other people and maybe say, hey, maybe try this product or something as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, cool. All these other questions, Eric, that you have asked, man, we'll post those answers up in the forum here this afternoon. So be looking for those. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Thanks for being on the call.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you.